Hello everyone, Wendy here. Welcome back to Wendy Bree's kitchen, where I do weekly videos to give you guys ideas for healthy meals for your meal prep. Today we're going to be doing some quinoa and green lentils. One of my favorite meals. Funny enough, I never used to like quinoa until I started making it myself and I started seasoning it. So we're just going to get straight to it. So the starters here. So I have some green lentils here. So be mindful what lentil you're using. I find like different lentils cook different ways, similar to beans. So like red lentils cook very fast, they get very mushy, while like green lentils, if you cook it properly, it still maintain that right consistency. And then I have my organic quinoa here. So, and the lentils and the quinoa have been soaked overnight just to make the cooking process very easy. So we're going to get started. So I already had some oil going, and as usual, no worries. I'm going to have the recipe and a full description. Sorry, the recipe in the description. Like I mentioned before, like I didn't initially like quinoa. A lot of people don't. But when I started making it, I started seasoning it. So I found like it's a good option to get. It's a good way to get some good carbs, some good protein. So if you guys do meal prep, you want to switch it up because normally everyone goes rice, potatoes. Now you can add some quinoa, but what you want to do is season it. So I have some shallots, some onions, some garlic, cloves, and a few other good things. And here I'm just gonna cook. Oh, I'm gonna zoom in for you guys to see. So yeah, I'm just gonna cook the onions on high heat for about 2 minutes because it's more than one pot. So I'm gonna be cooking the quinoa and the lentils at the same time, but in different stages. So I'm gonna let the onions and all the other spices get a bit golden before I add anything else to this. Yeah, so I've been sauteing the onion and shallot mix for about three minutes. So I'm gonna go in with our lentils. Now more seasoning. So like as I mentioned before, I'm gonna have this in the description. But here I have some sazón seasoning, some cumin, some ginger, some thyme, pimento berries. So just like a lot of goodies, like nice herbs and spices to like season it. So like, and you want to make sure this is like thoroughly mixed. So you want like we want to eat healthy, but at the same time we also want our food to taste good. So have this here, as I mentioned before. So we're cooking the lentils with our so we're cooking the lentil with our quinoa, but we're gonna cook this first. So I'm gonna start this off with 4 cups of water. Because of how the cook time of different lentils vary. So this, I'm only gonna cook this for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna check on it even before then, because similar to when you're cooking like brown rice, you want to check on it. So you want to cook this where it's al dente. So it's not so like it's not like it's partially cooked. So it's soft enough where you can crush it, and then once we get to that stage, then we can go on with our quinoa. So yeah, so while we have our lentils going, so I'm just going to get on our tofu. That's going to be our protein. So here I got some firm tofu. So you can use whatever tofu you can, but I'm doing jerk tofu. So if you're doing jerk tofu, you definitely want some firm tofu. So here I got 3 packs of tofu. I know it comes in different varieties. So I got me a pack at Costco. So if you can get something similar to this, or well, it's your dish, right? So however you want. So for me, I'm going heavy on the protein. That's why I have three of those, and they're firm tofu. And here I'm going to provide this a little bit detail. So this mix here is jerk seasoning with some maple syrup. I have some thyme and a few other things here. So I'm going to use that as my jerk seasoning. So see, it's going to pour it all over it. And again, depending on how much sauce you want, you can make more of this. So I'm just gonna toss, make sure everything is covered. Right here. And I love coming from the Caribbean. I love jerk chicken. So yeah, when I went plant based, I just found something I found that's been pretty good. Basically using the same seasoning method that I would use for meat for tofu. All right, so I have that pretty mixed. I already have the oven preheated at 380, so I'm just gonna put everything in this pan, and then again, like while we're just waiting on our lentils to cook, we can get on with the tofu. Yeah, so I have everything in the pan here. So I actually ended up using two because we have so much tofu. But also you don't want to overcrowd the tofu as you bake it, because you want to be able like to go in and flip it. So that's the reason why it's important like to use multiple pans so you don't overcrowd it. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this started. So I'm gonna, like I said, I mentioned it's preheated at 380. So I'm gonna put the first round in for 12 minutes, and then we're gonna check on it, flip it. Yeah, so I'm just checking in on our lentil. So it's good enough. See, like it's cooked enough where like it's not mushy, but I can just kind of like squeeze it. So that means we're good to go. It's al dente. Well, now we can add our quinoa to get this going. So I'm just gonna zoom in so you guys can see. So and guys, like it smells so good. Like when you get the try this, like all the spices, like the aroma. So we're gonna add our quinoa, and we're gonna stir our quinoa like properly, because again, the whole idea about this is this seasoning. Like this is like gonna taste good. You want it to taste good, so you gotta make sure like this is nicely mixed. And I know you guys hear in the background, so sorry about that. My son, I'm keeping him occupied, so he's watching Paw Patrol. So it's just me and them here, so you gotta make sure we gotta make it work. So this is enough water. I'm just mixing this in so that way it's in nicely. And then this is gonna be more between like a medium, a low medium. So this, and again, this is always optional. So we gotta, we can't we can't cook without our Scotch bonnet. And if you don't like heat, you can leave this out, but you still want to include your cloves. So here, what I do here, I poke the Scotch bonnet with the cloves, and I keep it in that way. Like the seed don't get into the quinoa, and that's when it's out of control hot. But you want the slight enough heat again to provide more flavor to this. So I'm just gonna cover this here, let this cook. All right, guys, everything is done. Food is ready. Just gonna show you guys here. See, so got our quinoa and lentils. So big part of quinoa and lentils, high in fiber, nice carbs, high in protein. Got our tofu here. Jerk tofu, nice and done, delicious. And off camera, I did some Brussels sprouts. If you guys are interested in this, just hit me up in the comments. I can basically just walk you step by step, but it's pretty straightforward. I basically just chopped up some fresh Brussels sprouts, so not frozen Brussels sprouts, but fresh. Added some olive oil, some black pepper, some Italian seasoning, and then in the oven at 400 degrees. So yeah, guys, just give it a try. Let me know what you think, and then like it's your meal prep. You want your food to taste how you like it, so feel free to like mix and match how you want, whatever veg that you like. But yeah, again, like the whole idea is like to provide some healthy options for you guys, and then you can mix and match and adjust it as you feel like. But again, guys, thank you for watching the video. Hit me up in the comments. Until next week.